at ang medisina sa pagtuklas sa tinatawag na Fountain of Youth kung paano maiwasan ang pagtanda pati na ang mga sakit. Matagal-tagal na rin pinag-uusapan ang stem cell therapy, lalo pat dumarami ang mga sakit at mga karamdaman na pwede nitong malunasan at maremedyohan. Kabilang na kung papaano huwag mapahalata sa mukha at pangangatawan ang edad ng tao. Dito sa Hollywood Boulevard, nakahanap ng immortalidad ang mga sikat na Hollywood celebrities. At dito rin natagpuan ni Frank ang nagpabalik raw sa kanyang kabataan. Katunayan, sino raw ang mag-aakalang 46 years old na siya?
Something different about you, and it's not just you got a haircut, it's not that you lost weight. What's going on, you know? On the vanity side of it, there's that benefit, but really I did it because I want to increase the quality of my life.
Salamat daw sa pinakabagong serbisyo ng stem cell technology, ang tinatawag na full-body anti-aging infusion. Sa tulong daw ng stem cell treatment na ito, napupuno raw ng mga bagong cell ang buong katawan. Kaya mararamdaman daw na tila lumalakas at bumabata ang pangangatawan.
We discovered that with the placement of stem cells in certain targeted regions, we can reverse the effects of aging. For example, when we have damage to our joints, if the damage is a certain type of damage, we can use stem cells to inject into those joints, and it actually replaces damaged tissue. It heals.
Ang stem cell ang pinakapurong cell sa katawan ng tao na may kakayanang lumikha ng mga bagong cell. Pinaniniwala ang kayang gamutin ng stem cell ang iba't ibang uri ng mga malalang sakit at nare-repair din daw nito ang mga nasirang body organ. Pero naging kontrobersyal ito nung unang ipinakilala sa publiko. Sa tinatawag kasing embryonic stem cell procedure, mamamatay ang embryo sa sinapupunan kapag kinuhanan ito ng stem cell para raw itong pagkitil sa buhay. Tinutulan ito ng mga pro-life group at ng simbahang Katoliko. Pero hindi nagtagal, natuklasan ding pwedeng makakuha ng stem cell sa bone marrow o gulugot. Pati na sa umbilical cord o yung pinagputulan ng pusod ng bagong silang na sanggol.
Ang effective pa lang na stem cell therapy ngayon ay tinatawag na bone marrow transplantation. Ginagamit nila yan sa pag-treat ng mga leukemias, mga lymphomas.
Pati ang stem cell na nakukuha sa mga hayop, nagagamit na rin sa tao. Ang kilalang cancer doctor na si Dr. Tranquilino Elicanio, kamakailan lang nagpa-stem cell therapy sa Germany. Ang itinurok sa kanya sa pag-asang gumaling ang kanyang katawan matapos siyang ma-stroke galing sa tupa o sheep.
1 month and a half after my injection, yung blood chem, tinignan ko. Aba, yung aking fasting blood sugar, yung aking cholesterol, uric acid, creatinine, all went down to normal.
Kamakailan din lang, umamin si dating Pangulong Erap Estrada na siya man nagpa-stem cell therapy para gumanda ang kanyang pangangatawan. Ito raw ang sikreto sa kanyang itsura, mukha ngang hindi tumatanda si Erap. Katulad ng kay Dr. Elicanio, ang stem cell na ibinigay sa kanya mula rin sa tupa. Usap-usapan din ngayon na ang ilan nating mga politiko at kilalang personalidad nagpa-stem cell therapy na rin. Pati sa itlog ng inahing manok. Makakakuha rin daw ng benepisyo ng stem cell sa pamamagitan ng chicken embryo capsules. Galing pa raw sa Amerika ang chicken embryo capsule. Naglalaman daw ito ng amino acids, mga minerals, at ng fibroblast growth factor, isang klase ng protina na nakakatulong raw para makabuo ng mga bagong stem cells.
Yung cells naman natin na medyo may kapansanan o medyo namamatay, binubuhay o flash.
Bukod sa sakit na vertigo, mahigit isang dekada ng pinahihirapan ng diabetes ang 62 anyos na si Cecil. At nitong taon lang, nadiskubre pang meron din siyang stage 1 cancer sa matris.
Hinang-hina ako. Akala ko mamamatay na ako. Parang everyday, pababa ng pababa. Lalong-lalo na yung depression ko. Tinitingnan ko sarili ko, awang-awa ako kasi ang laki ng eye bag ko, putlang-putla ko, ang tanda-tanda ko na.
Kaya sinubukan daw niyang uminom ng chicken embryo stem cell.
Ang diabetes ko, ngayon wala na akong insulin. Nagpa-laboratory ako lahat. Pati sugar ko nag-normal. Ang blood pressure ko hindi na tumataas.
Tonight we have a story about a controversial treatment for cancer invented by a Winnipeg doctor. It's not new. In fact, Dr. John Davidson used it on hundreds of patients decades ago. What is new is that some 50 years after the doctor's death, more than half a century after his theories were dismissed as quackery, scientists are rekindling the flame of his research. With more on the legendary cancer doctor, here's CTV's medical specialist, Avis Favreau.
His name was John Ralston Davidson, a respected family doctor in Winnipeg in the early 1900s.
A great scientist as well as a great doctor.
And this is Leslie Gurney Bishop, now 88, a journalist who documented Dr. Davidson's controversial treatment for cancer.
He never claimed that it cured it, but he said it would arrest it.
Davidson spent years studying cancer, writing medical articles on his theories, which in hindsight were remarkable for his time. The doctor described cancer as a dietary deficiency, so he added generous amounts of vitamins to the patient's diet. But he also said it was critical to boost the patient's own defenses against cancer, which is why he developed what he called young tissue extract. Davidson took fertilized hen's eggs just 9 days old and produced a powdered extract, which was then injected into patients with various forms of terminal cancer. Like this boy, diagnosed with lymphatic cancer, notes show that with surgery, vitamins, and the extract, he returned to normal health. Over the years, Dr. Davidson treated hundreds of cancer patients.
They all said, the ones I interviewed, all said that it had benefited them tremendously.
Some said they were cured.
Ruth Burke's father was one of Davidson's more famous patients. Harry Leader, the Member of Parliament for Portage-La Prairie, had been diagnosed with terminal bowel cancer by the Mayo Clinic in the U.S. But under Davidson's treatment, he improved.
It was controversial scientifically, but that really didn't affect Dad. He believed in it.
But Davidson's medical colleagues thought the treatment was useless and repeatedly refused him research money.
It's as though they'd been instructed by somebody, well, just tear him up, you know, just tear him up. And they did.
Frustrated with the lack of support, Harry Leader, with his own good health as proof, took Davidson's pleas for funding straight to Ottawa in 1944, directly to Prime Minister Mackenzie King.
He never wanted any publicity from this. He simply wanted help for this man whom he felt could help humanity.
The Prime Minister refused to fund Davidson's work. The doctor died 4 years later.
He would die pretty well of a broken heart, if you know what I mean, because he had not been recognized.
His cancer treatment thought to have died with him.
But then 6 years ago, the treatment was rediscovered by a Toronto company. It hired researchers at Dalhousie University to test the theory. Could these embryonic chicken cells really be a cancer treatment? When research began, there was excitement.
Davidson's extract, in many ways, could be a cancer vaccine.
In 3 studies on mice, the compound apparently shrunk tumors.
We have to be careful about raising people's hopes falsely.
Jonathan Blay is one of the researchers looking at the revived young tissue extract.
Davidson's extract, in many ways, could be a cancer vaccine. There could be things in the extract that promote a response against the cancer.
But then suddenly the research stopped. The then owners of the extract had financial problems. They stopped paying the researchers. Dalhousie was out some $60,000 and halted the experiments.
The university would be interested in continuing the work because the results were very promising.
But for nearly 5 years now, the capsules have simply laid on the shelf.
One could easily walk away from and say, to heck with it. But would we be leaving behind something that could potentially have significant impact for large numbers of people?
But if there are no takers soon, the venture will die. A darn shame, says Dr. Bain, because we still won't have the answer. Was Dr. Davidson right?
But if Dr. Davidson's extract does show the power to combat cancer,
this could be not only one of the great human victories in overcoming disease, but it could also be one of the great human tragedies.
a tragedy because for the last 50 years, a possible cancer treatment and its pioneer were forgotten. Avis Favreau, CTV News, Toronto.